Okay, so we get to Blair Witch 2016, which is directed by Adam Wingard, whatever. And it's a sequel to the very first Blair Witch Project movie from 1999. I've seen it. Wasn't really a big fan of it. I don't hate it like a lot of people seem to do. Um, it's it's decent for what it is. Like, you don't really see anything, but it has atmosphere at least. Whereas this movie doesn't really. There's some interesting ideas, but they don't do anything with them. The characters are non-existent in terms of interesting, really. Aside from maybe I can't even say them because they get wasted as well. So really, this movie's. I mean, it's about this guy. He wants to look for his sister Heather, who was in the first film, who went missing. She was part of the trio that was filming in the woods. He wants to go out there and look for her. So he brings his friends along, his female friend, and then his his best friend, and then his best friend's girlfriend or wife or whatever they are. The black couple, basically. And then you have this other couple that they want to join because they know the woods. So, and they're the ones that uploaded the video, which he thinks is the video of his sister Heather running in the house at the end of the first film. Which then I'm like, really? Like, how long have you seen this footage, and like now you want to do this? Like, what took you so long? Of course, there's a dumb twist at the end, but then it's not really acknowledged. Um, you know, so like again, like this movie it's a lost footage film, so you know how it ends, and I can't even say that because at least there's decent found footage films that end decently, where not everybody survives, or at least somebody survives sometimes, like um, As Above, So Below, um, Frogman, a few others. Even Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. Even like I like that one. So there's decent ones, and then there's good ones. The Tunnel. But yeah, this movie it's your generic. It's a remake basically. It's not a sequel. It's a remake basically because it's the same thing. People go out in the woods and go filming, and then weird stuff is happening. We need to get out of here. And there was this interesting thing they do with this one couple that they want tag along, and at some point they get kicked out of the group because they faked the Blair Witch stick statue things. So they end up getting kicked out of the group at one point. They come back, but it's like I think hours later. But to them, it's been like 5 days. I thought that was interesting. Um, and then also the thing where I guess the witch, she takes a whatever belongs to the person, she'll add it to these stick figure things that she puts up. And like at one point, the black girl rips one of these statue things apart with parts of hair from the other lady. Then she snaps this twig apart, and it snaps the girl apart. I thought that was interesting. We do nothing else with that, you know. Or the fact that like the black girl, her foot, she gets something in her foot. Nothing happens to her. All she does is pull out this stick twig thing, and it oozes out little yellow juice. That's it. Nothing else. You know. It was sort of I thought maybe she turned into stick figure things. Nope. And yes, you do see the Blair Witch in this, and I'm gonna say right now, although you don't really see her clearly, at least I couldn't. with the quality of the camera that they were using. I guess shaky cam, so we gotta do that. But she reminded me of like maybe a rejected barbarian chick, like an early draft, possibly version of her. Um, but yeah, characters are stupid in this. They use a drone at one point as if they're trying to be different, but they don't do anything really with it. All they do is use it maybe 2 or 3 scenes. One scene it causes somebody to die. um, but it's not scary. If anything, it drags on in the third act where all they're doing is running around in this house, and the main guy, I forget his name, but the Heather's brother anyway. He's stupid. He thinks it's Heather in the house, so he runs in the house, even though weird stuff is happening, and it has to be Heather, even though like it's been years, dude. I think she's dead, but whatever, I guess. And and then it's spoilers. Like the ending is him and the Lisa chick, who is a documentary filmmaker chick girl. Him and her stand in the corner, and I guess he hears Heather's voice, possibly. That's why he's talking to himself. Because there's like this story of, I forget the guy's name from the first film. The story of this guy, he killed, I guess, these kids in the corner or something, or he stuck one and one in the corner after the other and pulled them to kill them off or something. I forget. But he does that. He turns around, and of course we don't see him die. We see him off screen die. Like a lot of these in this movie. I get even the original, but it had at least atmosphere, and it was more believable of, oh, we gotta keep the cameras on because it's light and we can see at night with the cameras. Whereas here, I mean, I guess the same thing here, but they have flashlights. I don't know why you don't just use the flashlights. I wonder how it starts to rain at one point towards in the third act. I like to know how those cameras are still working when, it's pouring down rain, like it's thundering and lightning. I'm like, wow, I guess high-tech cameras, right? Um, there was this one cool shot with the brother. He's stuck in this one in the room, and he turns and he sees like this chick, who's like all covered in. I couldn't tell if she was like covered in a coat, like a dirty clothing anyway, and he thinks it's Heather possibly. I thought that was an interesting shot. There's nothing to explain with that. Same with the flashing outside when they meet up. Him and her meet up, and they see outside a flash of light as if as if this movie wants to be Signs from M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Not explained. It's like a lot of stuff in this. This is not needed. I don't know why. I don't understand why even make a sequel to a movie. A lot of people, a huge majority of people, hate it. Let alone remake it. And then you don't really have anybody to like. You don't like the Lisa chick, who's a documentary person, who early on, I guess we're led to assume, oh, she's exploiting this guy, Heather's brother, really for, her documentary thing. And then you have the black couple who, all you know is that they're best friends with the brother character, and that's it. Not really, like, you don't know anything else about them that I remember. There's no interesting lore, really, extra lore going on much. Aside from, I guess maybe the story would, I think the witch, they expand a little bit, I guess, with that she, back in the day, they stretched her arms out, so that's why her arms were so long, I guess, or something, maybe. Um, but that's it. Like, we don't really learn anything else, and she makes people go crazy, I guess. Um, that's it. I mean, 'cause, again, like, there's nothing really to say about this movie that I was impressed with. Again, aside from the twig snapping, and then the chick, her body snaps as if it's like a voodoo thing, which was cool. Do nothing with that else. And the twist again with the at the beginning when the guy sees the footage, and that's what makes him want to go out to look for his sister because he thinks that's his sister. But then we find out, no, it's Lisa in that footage, and then it's like, well, okay, so how does this even work? Who loop is does the witch loop time? I guess even when in another time loop, so they're gonna find this footage again in another time, and then they'll just come back to the forest again, or woods, and do this all over again. Like, so stupid to begin with. But yeah, and I did not care for this one. Very boring, very lackluster, very generic, and not well acted much. The acting's just either fine to okay, not really horrible, but nobody stood out to me really. Um, but yeah, if anybody's interested in, requesting reviews, commentaries, reaction videos, link for PayPal down in the description. Peace and love. Like, comment, subscribe.